and welcome back to another exciting episode of Mr. English Academy Pro, the place where you become a confident English speaker. I'm Emily, your host. Imagine you are standing in your living room and you want to ask your family to help you, but the words just get stuck in your throat. Today, we are going to fix that problem forever by teaching you the essential phrases you need to use inside your own home every single day.
And I'm Paul, your co-host as always. That is a terrible feeling, Emily, feeling like a stranger in your own house because you don't know the right words to say to your family or roommates. I am so happy to be here with you all today to solve this problem and help you speak English naturally and comfortably at home. Before we start, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with a friend who needs it.
Yes, please watch this video until the very end because we have a very special story that will change the way you think about learning English phrases. Paul, today is not just about vocabulary lists. It is about connecting with the people we love through language. We want you to feel the emotion and the comfort of these words. So let's get ready to learn deeply and speak from the heart.
Exactly, Emily, because your home is your sanctuary, and your English should feel just as comfortable as your favorite chair. We have organized this episode into special sections to help you remember everything easily, so get your notebook ready. Let's dive into this beautiful journey together right now.
I am so ready, and I know our listeners are ready too. So let's start with the most important part of the day. Remember to listen closely to our pronunciation and repeat after us when you can. Let's begin our deep learning journey.
So, Emily, when we talk about home phrases, we are often talking about phrasal verbs, which can be very scary for beginners. A phrasal verb is just a verb plus a small word like up or out that creates a totally new meaning. Today, we will explain these clearly so nobody feels confused anymore.
That is such a good point, Paul, because saying clean is okay, but saying tidy up sounds so much more natural and native. We want our listeners to sound like real English speakers, not like robots reading from a textbook. When you use these specific phrases, you build a warmer atmosphere in your house.
I definitely do not want to sound like a robot in my own kitchen. It is important to note that these phrases are used for polite requests and describing our daily actions. If you can master these, you will understand movies and TV shows much better too.
Absolutely, because in movies, families are always arguing or laughing using these exact phrases we are teaching today. We are going to break down the hard phrases so they become easy for you. By the end of this episode, you will feel powerful in your own living room.
That is the goal, to give you power and confidence through deep learning. We will look at morning routines, cleaning, relaxing, and even cooking. Let's move to our first major section, but first, we have something very special to share.
Now, I want to share a real story from one of our listeners, Lena, who moved to New Orleans last year. She sent us this beautiful message about her struggle, and I want you to close your eyes and listen to her words.
Hi everyone, my name is Lena, and I'm originally from Georgia. And when I first moved to a shared house in New Orleans, I was terrified to leave my bedroom. I shared a kitchen with 3 native English speakers, and the kitchen was always messy, but I didn't know how to speak about it. One night, I wanted to cook, but the sink was full of dirty plates, and I felt so small and helpless standing there. I wanted to say, "Please clean," but it felt too aggressive, so I stayed silent and ate a cold sandwich in my room. I felt lonely and isolated because I lacked the simple phrases to communicate my needs politely. Then I started listening to podcasts and learned the phrase tidy up and do the dishes. The next day, I took a deep breath, walked into the kitchen, and smiled at my roommate. I said, "Hey, do you mind if we tidy up the kitchen together before dinner?" He smiled back and said, "Sure, let's do it." That simple phrase changed everything for me, and suddenly I felt like I was truly at home.
Wow, that story actually gives me goosebumps because it is so honest and relatable for so many people. Lena wasn't just learning English, she was learning how to stand up for herself and make friends. It shows that one correct phrase can change your entire life.
It really is deep, isn't it? She went from eating alone to cooking with friends just because she learned tidy up instead of being silent. This is why we are here, to stop you from feeling lonely as Lena did at the start.
Thank you for sharing that, Emily, and thank you, Lena, for your courage. We are going to look at those exact phrases Lena used later in this episode. Keep Lena's story in your mind as we learn, because this is about real life, not just exams.
Let's start our deep learning with the morning, specifically the phrase sleep in. To sleep in does not mean to sleep inside. It actually means to sleep later than usual, like on a Saturday morning. For example, I love to sleep in on weekends because I am so tired from work.
Oh, I absolutely love to sleep in whenever I get the chance. Another important morning phrase is get ready, which means to prepare yourself for the day. By dressing and brushing your teeth, you might say to your children, "Hurry up and get ready for school."
I say that to my husband every morning too, not just children. After you get ready, you usually head out, which is a great native phrase meaning to leave the house. Instead of saying, "I am leaving," you say, "Okay, I'm gonna head out now."
Head out sounds so cool and casual, much better than just saying exit. So the sequence is you sleep in if you're lucky, then you get ready, and finally you head out. It is a perfect little story of a morning routine.
Exactly, Paul. And notice how these phrases create a picture in your mind of the action. Try to visualize yourself doing these things as you say the words. Now let's move on to the work that nobody likes doing.
Okay, let's talk about the phrase from Lena's story, tidy up. To tidy up means to organize things and put them in their correct places, which is different from deep cleaning. You can say, "The living room is messy. Let's tidy up before the guests arrive."
Yes, tidy up is very gentle and polite, unlike clean this mess. Another huge phrase for home life is do the laundry, which means washing your dirty clothes. Notice we say do the laundry. We never say make the laundry.
That is a very common mistake for beginners, so please remember it is always do the laundry. We also have the phrase take out the trash, which means removing the garbage bag from the house to the bin outside. My wife always asks me, "Paul, did you remember to take out the trash?"
And I bet you forget sometimes, just like everyone else. So we have to tidy up for organizing, do the laundry for washing clothes, and take out the trash for garbage. These three phrases will cover 80% of your housework conversations.
They really will, and using them correctly shows you have a high level of English understanding. It makes living with roommates or family much smoother. Now, after all that work, we need to rest.
My favorite phrase is wind down. To wind down means to slowly relax and release the stress of the day, like a clock slowing down. You could say, I like to wind down by reading a book.
Wind down is such a beautiful, deep phrase for mental health. Similarly, we have chill out, which is very informal and common, meaning to relax completely and do nothing. You might text a friend and say, I'm just chilling out on the sofa watching TV.
Yes, chill out is perfect for A2 learners because native speakers use it constantly. We also use the phrase, put your feet up, which literally means putting your feet on a chair, but figuratively means to take a well-deserved rest. I tell my mom, sit down and put your feet up. I will make tea.
That sounds so kind and caring, Emily. So you wind down to stop stress, you chill out to have fun, and you put your feet up to rest your body. These phrases help you describe your feelings and your physical state.
They do, and they are positive phrases that make your home feel like a happy place. Learning English should feel like chilling out, not like work. Let's move to the heart of the home, the kitchen.
In the kitchen, we have a great phrase, whip up. To whip up something means to cook food very quickly and easily, usually a snack. You might say, I am hungry. I will whip up some eggs.
That is a fun one because it sounds fast, just like the action. Another essential word is leftovers, which refers to the food remaining after a meal is finished. You can ask, do we have any leftovers from dinner last night for lunch?
I basically survive on leftovers during the week. We also use the phrase set the table, which means to put the plates, forks, and glasses on the table before eating. It's a great chore to give to children. Please set the table. Dinner is ready.
So true. It is a classic family phrase. So remember, you whip up a quick meal, you set the table to prepare for eating, and you eat leftovers the next day. This cycle happens in every English-speaking home.
It really does, and knowing these words makes you part of the family rhythm. You are doing great, listeners. We have one more time of day to cover.
Finally, the day ends and we use the phrase turn in. To turn in is a lovely way to say you are going to bed to sleep. You can say to your guests, I am tired. I think I'm going to turn in now.
That sounds much more sophisticated than just I go to sleep. Before we sleep, we usually lock up, which means locking all the doors and windows for safety. Did you lock up the house? Is a question asked in almost every home at night.
Safety is very important, so lock up is a key phrase. Finally, we hope to be sound asleep, which means sleeping very deeply and peacefully. We say, the baby is finally sound asleep, so be quiet.
We must not wake the baby. So you decide to turn in, you ensure you lock up the house, and soon you are sound asleep. That is the perfect end to a day of English speaking.
It is a beautiful cycle. Now, to make sure you really learned this deep down, let's listen to Lena's story one more time. Repetition is the mother of skill, so listen for the phrases we just discussed.
Listeners, we are going to read Lena's story again. This time, I want you to focus on how she felt before she knew the phrases and how she felt after. Notice the phrase tidy up again.
Hi everyone, my name is Lena and I'm originally from Georgia. And when I first moved to a shared house in New Orleans, I was terrified to leave my bedroom. I shared a kitchen with 3 native English speakers, and the kitchen was always messy, but I didn't know how to speak about it. One night, I wanted to cook, but the sink was full of dirty plates, and I felt so small and helpless standing there. I wanted to say, "Please clean," but it felt too aggressive, so I stayed silent and ate a cold sandwich in my room. I felt lonely and isolated because I lacked the simple phrases to communicate my needs politely. Then I started listening to podcasts and learned the phrase tidy up and do the dishes. The next day, I took a deep breath, walked into the kitchen, and smiled at my roommate. I said, "Hey, do you mind if we tidy up the kitchen together before dinner?" He smiled back and said, "Sure, let's do it." That simple phrase changed everything for me, and suddenly I felt like I was truly at home.
It hits even harder the second time, doesn't it? Now that you know what tidy up means, you understand her victory. She wasn't just cleaning, she was building a relationship using English.
Exactly. She used the tool of language to solve a human problem. I hope every listener feels that same power right now. You are capable of this too.
You are absolutely capable. We believe in you. Now, let's wrap up this episode with some final wisdom.
Wow, listening to Lena's story again really highlights how powerful words can be. But now it is time for our learners' favorite part of this episode. It is time for our vocabulary and phrases breakdown.
Yes, this is the section where we take you from a beginner level to an advanced level. We've selected 8 powerful new hard words and 8 powerful new hard phrases related to home life that most English learners never learn in school. Are you ready to upgrade your English brain?
Let's start with the 8 powerful vocabulary words. Get your pens ready.
The first word is residence, meaning a formal and sophisticated way to say the place where someone lives, a house, apartment, or flat.
This sounds much more official and professional than just saying house. Example, the delivery driver could not find my residence because the number was hidden.
Next is clutter, meaning a messy collection of things lying around untidily.
This is what you have before you tidy up. Example, we need to clear the clutter from the dining table before we eat.
Third is utility, meaning a public service supplied to a home such as electricity, water, or gas.
These are the essential things we pay for every month to keep the house running. Example, the rent is cheap, but the monthly utility bills for heating are very high.
Number 4 is a beautiful word, ambiance, meaning the character, atmosphere, or mood of a place.
It's how the room feels when you walk in. Example, lighting some candles created a warm and cozy ambiance in the living room.
Next up is renovate, meaning to repair and improve a building, especially an old one, so that it looks good again.
You do this when you want to change your old kitchen into a modern one. Example, we plan to renovate the old bathroom next summer to make it look brand new.
Number 6 is leisure, meaning free time when you are not working or busy.
This is the time for hobbies and relaxing. Example, on Sundays, I enjoy some leisure time reading in the garden.
Number 7 is maintenance, meaning the work needed to keep a building, machine, or room in good condition.
If you ignore this, things will break. Example, the maintenance of this large garden takes a lot of time and effort every weekend.
The final word is tenant, meaning a person who rents an apartment or house from a landlord.
The tenant paid his rent on the first day of the month. Fantastic. Now let's move to the 8 powerful hard phrases. These are expressions native speakers use that might sound strange if you translate them word for word.
First phrase, spick and span, meaning extremely clean and tidy, spotless.
Example, after cleaning all morning, the kitchen was finally spick and span.
Number 2, crash out, meaning to go to sleep very quickly because you are exhausted.
I was so tired after the move that I just crashed out on the sofa.
Number 3, make yourself at home.
Meaning, a polite phrase telling a guest to feel comfortable and relaxed as if they were in their own home.
Please sit down and make yourself at home while I make coffee.
Number 4, stock up.
Meaning to buy a large quantity of something to keep for later use.
We need to go to the supermarket to stock up on milk and eggs.
Number 5, under one roof.
Meaning, in the same building or home, living together.
It is crazy having 3 generations of our family living under one roof.
Under number 6, around the corner.
Meaning very close nearby, a short distance away.
Example, luckily the grocery store is just around the corner from our house.
Number 7, safe and sound.
Meaning, completely safe and without injury or damage.
I was worried when the storm started, but we were all safe and sound inside.
And the last powerful phrase is homebody.
Meaning a person who likes to stay at home rather than go out.
Example, I don't like going to parties on Friday nights. I'm a bit of a homebody.
Wow, those are incredibly useful. If our listeners can use spick and span or homebody, they will sound just like native speakers.
Exactly. Listeners, please rewind this section if you need to hear the definitions again. These words are your keys to unlocking fluent English. We have covered so much ground today, from waking up to going to sleep. We learned sleep in, head out, tidy up, chill out, whip up, and turn in. Please pick just one of these phrases and use it in your home today.
Yes, deep learning happens when you take action, not just when you listen. Say the phrase out loud to yourself, or to your cat, or to your mirror. Thank you so much for spending this time with us at Mr. English Academy Pro.
You are making progress every single day, so be proud of yourself. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below telling us which phrase was your favorite. We love reading your stories, just like we read Lena's.
Thank you for watching. And remember, your home is the best classroom you will ever have. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and we will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Bye!